Imagine floating silently over a landscape so magical. It feels like you've traveled back in time, where ancient temples stretch to the horizon, and the sky fills with fire and light. But why has this one place become the most iconic hot air balloon ride on Earth? It's just before sunrise. The air is cool and still. In the darkness, flames burst to life, breathing fire into giant, colorful envelopes of fabric. One by one, they lift off, not into an empty sky, but into a living dream. Below them, more than 2,000 ancient temples emerge from the morning mist. Spires, pagodas, and crumbling stupas stand like silent sentinels across the plains of Bagan. This isn't just a balloon ride. It's a journey above one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. So how did this happen? Why here of all places? And what is it about floating above these ruins that feels so transcendent? To understand that, we need to go back, way back, to a time when Bagan wasn't a tourist destination, but the heart of a powerful empire. In the 9th century, this region was the center of the pagan kingdom. Over the next 400 years, its rulers embarked on one of the most ambitious building projects in human history. They constructed over 10,000 Buddhist temples, monasteries, and stupas across this arid plain. At its peak, Bagan was a spiritual epicenter, a city of gold and learning, drawing pilgrims from across Asia. But empires fall. Earthquakes shook the region. Wars came and went. The city was abandoned, and the jungle began to reclaim the stones. For centuries, Bagan slept, a ghost kingdom remembered only in local legends and a few rare traveler accounts. Then, in the 1990s, something changed. Myanmar began opening up to the world, and when travelers first laid eyes on this vast temple plain, they were stunned. But seeing it from the ground was one thing, seeing it from above, that was something else entirely. That's when the balloons arrived. It started small, a handful of operators with a bold idea. What if we gave people a bird's-eye view? Not from a noisy helicopter or a small plane, but from a hot air balloon, silent, slow, and majestic. Just like the temples below, but pulling this off wasn't easy. Bagan isn't a simple place to fly. The winds have to be just right. The balloons need to rise with the sun, catching the first golden light as it touches the tallest temple spires. Pilots train for years to read the morning air, to drift at the perfect height, at the perfect pace, so passengers can truly absorb the scale and beauty of what lies beneath. And what a sight it is. From above, the true genius of Bagan's layout is revealed. This wasn't random construction. Temples were placed along sacred alignments, designed to catch the light on solstice days, or to form mandalas visible only from certain angles. Some believe the entire complex was meant to mirror the Buddhist cosmos, a map of the heavens laid out in brick and stone. As you drift, you begin to notice patterns. Clusters of small temples surrounding larger ones, hidden pathways, symmetries that are invisible from the ground. It's like watching a puzzle unfold beneath you, one that scholars are still trying to solve. And then there are the details you can only see from the air. The intricate carvings on a rooftop you'd never see from below, the hidden courtyards, the way shadows carve depth and mystery across ancient facades. Balloons offer something rare, silence and slowness in a world that's always rushing. There's no engine noise, just the occasional roar of the burner, then quiet, the kind of quiet that lets you hear your own heartbeat. That silence is part of the magic. It gives you space to reflect on the people who built this place, on the centuries that have passed, on the sheer ambition it took to create something so grand. You're not just a tourist looking at ruins. You're a witness to history, floating through a story written in stone. Of course, this experience doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of careful planning, respect for the site, and a deep understanding of both aviation and archaeology. Balloon pilots here aren't just pilots, they're storytellers, historians, and guardians of the morning sky. And every flight is different. Some days, low-lying mist wraps the temples in mystery. Other days, the air is so clear you feel like you can see forever. But one thing remains constant, that moment when the sun crests the hills and sets the entire plain on fire with golden light. In that instant, the balloons, the temples, and the sky become one living painting. It's no wonder this experience has become legendary. People travel across the world for this 1 hour in the air. They describe it as spiritual, humbling, surreal. And maybe that's the point. Bagan was built to elevate the human spirit, to connect earth and heaven. And what better way to honor that intention than to rise above it, quietly, peacefully, and see it as its creators might have dreamed? Today, Bagan is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, protected, studied, and revered. The balloons continue to fly, but under strict regulations to preserve the site's sanctity and silence. This isn't a theme park ride. It's a privilege, a moment of harmony between ancient wonder and modern awe, and perhaps that's the real secret of Bagan's balloons. They don't just show you a beautiful view. They remind you that some places on Earth are still capable of taking your breath away, not with thrill, but with grace. Have you ever experienced something that felt truly timeless? A place or a moment that changed how you see the world? Share your story in the comments. And if you want to explore more of the world's hidden wonders with us, don't forget to subscribe to Wonder Explorer.